Brad, the way Trevin played, is that the way you're expecting, or maybe even better than expectations?
Yeah, really pleased with how he played. I thought he was locked in all week of practice. He was excited for this opportunity, and he obviously took advantage of it. He was really good on the sideline. Same thing with De'Eric, those two guys. Obviously, you can tell just how much they've soaked in from those two older guys. And it was awesome to see those two older inside backers. Every time they came off the field, they were encouraging them. They were talking about them. They were making sure they understood everything. And it's fun to watch. It's so that older brother, younger brother effect. And they pull just as hard for when those guys are out on the field when they're on the field. So that was good.
How big was it to bring them? I mean, some injured guys would have just stayed home. Why did you think it was important for those guys to be here today?
Well, I thought not just for the inside backers, but I thought it was great for the entire defense. I mean, we talk about what their impact for this team is, and to have a void of 2 6-year linebackers on a road SEC game, I thought would have been, and Coach agreed, like that would not have been good for our defense, and they feed off those guys. And so it was great to have them. I'm glad we were able to bring them in. They may not be on the stat sheet as contributing, but they definitely contributed to this one.
Andrew Phillips is a guy who also made a big impact today. What have you seen of him? How has he progressed along this season, and that kind of culminate today with his performance?
Yeah, he continues to progress his game. We've obviously expanded it a little bit. With him there in the nickel spot, he's taken it and ran. There are some things that we got to clean up. Some situations that he hasn't necessarily been put in before. Because at this point, when he starts to transition to that this late in the season, he doesn't have 1,000 cumulative reps of first and second down situations and all the motions and the shifts that come on those downs. So we continue to build sort of that toolbox for him, but just really pleased with him. He's been great. Again, another guy that's been great on the sideline. I thought our sideline overall was awesome. I thought the energy all day was great, and they were ready to compete. And they wanted an opportunity to go back out there and win the game on defense, and because we had those 2 drives there in the second half, and really the start of the fourth quarter. It was the back end of the third. When you get the fourth quarter, man, so close. First and goal on the 3, and you stop them on 3 straight, and you get all the way to 4th down, and they just slipped in. But their fight and their grit and their battle was good to see.
Did that first drive kind of set the tone for you guys? I mean, -7 yards on the 3 and after last week in particular.
I thought. We knew we wanted to come out and sort of try to impose our will, and overall, anytime you can hold an offense, under 250 yards, you feel good about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say, Brad, when you show up at the stadium today, you see it's rainy and wet and cold. You kind of gather your guys and say, once you made a premium, it's really going to be on us today.
Yeah, we talked about it last night. We knew what the weather forecast looked like. We knew the wind. The wind really died down, it felt like, as the game went. So you were able to push the ball more. Early on, you felt like, hey, it was going to be a heavy sort of run game, screens. But then as it died down, you saw the ball start to open up. And they did some nice things, and we had to make some adjustments to that. And I thought our guys, reacted well. And, hey, listen, when you play in the SEC, the other team's going to make some plays. And how are you going to react? And I thought the 4th down stop, obviously, in the first half on the 4th and 1 was a big play. So the fumble on the 3rd down, that J-Dub got that created a short field, that's a big play. All those things created a short field. So, again, proud of the way they played. Was it perfect? No, I didn't call a perfect game either. So we all got to go back and just continue to get better. We know we've got a good Vandy team, a much improved Vandy team coming in this week. We got to show up, but really happy for the seniors on their last true SEC road game. They get to go out, with a good taste in it.
What can a win like this do for a team when you don't play? You make mistakes, you have to kind of gut it out. What can that do for a team, especially coming off that Tennessee loss?
Yeah, I think it is so funny. I was talking with Mike Stoops, and he's like, man, you guys, this will kill you as a coach, And I said, I'll get used to it. This is what Kentucky football is. We have we got a lot of barn burners, and sometimes we make games more interesting than they need to be. But it's the grit and the determination and the football character that coaches instilled in these guys. I know I got asked the question last week after Tennessee, hey, how do you get these guys up? And I said it comes down to football character. And these guys are wired right. They're in a culture in our locker room that they know, listen, no matter win, lose, or draw, you got to show up the next week. You got to punch the clock. You got to work. And that's what they did. And they know hey, listen, it's not just going to happen next week. You got to show up. You got to punch the clock. You got to work again. And we got to do it. And we got 3 home games in front of our fans. And, it starts with next week.
Did you feel some pressure to perform the way you did with DeAndre out this week?
Yeah, I did. I had butterflies in my stomach when we first started playing, but, Square came talking to me. It was like, it's your game. You won this position, and you can go take it. He was like, you go out there and play ball, and that's what I did.
Just the defense overall, how proud were you of the performance today?
Oh, I love it. Last week we didn't have a good game, man. You seen what Kentucky defense is really about, so I loved it.
How much fun was it getting that start next to De'Aaron?
Oh, it was real fun. Like they said last interview, De'Aaron my best friend, so, it was out there having fun. And sometimes we look at each other and start laughing like, bro, this is what we wanted. So, it was real fun.
Coach Roy was saying last week the thing with you is that knowing when to pull the pin and make the play, go make the play. Did you feel, it looked like you did that today? Do you feel like you did that?
Yeah, I did that today. Some plays I was like, just go, Trevin. You're too fast to just sit back, so I just pulled the pin a lot of times.
What's the feeling for the defense when the offense is struggling to move the ball? It's going to be low scoring. Does that add pressure for you guys, or how do you handle that?
Nah, I don't add pressure. We sit on the sideline like, we doing good. Keep relaxing. The offense gonna keep going. They are brothers too, so we don't count them out. So we don't have no pressure on our backs. We just keep going, keep playing what we have to do.